Hi, my name is Neeraja Aravamudan. I'm within the community engagement field in higher education. Skills you have in a doctoral program is around research and, distilling ideas and getting, sort of translating that work. And I think the work that I do in my role, and especially around consulting, is really taking that research and making it digestible for faculty. To me, the biggest work that I do is translating that research. So saying like, well, you have this question, so let me give you some resources specific to what you're trying to do, right? So translating that work, so knowing the field well enough, knowing the research well enough to know like, these are the resources that'll be most helpful to you, which is different to me than saying like, let me tell you all the research I know, right? So I think for me, it's distilling what's important so that I'm not wasting the faculty members' time to try to go through. I don't need to give them like every resource that's out there. I need to let them know what's specifically helpful to them in a really concise way. So I think about that. I'm trying to save their time, not add more time to their work. I think the projects vary so much. We've had students who support some of our staff who are doing community engagement work, so sort of collating information and managing our database of community partners, for example. There are others who create curriculum for our student workshops and things like that. So that's workshop and curriculum development. We have a whole group of doctoral students in our graduate liaison program that actually facilitate workshops. So that's something we hire for and say, do you have facilitation experience? Or if you don't, are you willing? We ask for that facilitation experience, but then we can also train you up to have that experience. Sometimes an office might have an idea of a project, and the student might say, well, I'm not sure, but I hear the skills I can offer. So I think that's one thing a student can do, which can be really helpful to an office, is these are the skills I have because I'm a doctoral student, right? That I have research skills, or I have translation skills, or I have writing skills, communication skills, all of which are really helpful to offices like ours, right? Some students do not want to do administrative work, or they think it's not going to help them. And I guess as a professional administrator, I would say that administrative skills are actually really critical to functioning well in higher education. And I don't actually think those come automatically, right? So there are folks who are in higher ed administration who are not good administrators for lots of reasons. And I think part of it is we don't train around that, right? We train around research skills in doctoral programs. And so I guess what I'm saying is be humble enough to accept that whatever role you get, you can learn something from it if you're willing, right? So I think about my first job in graduate school that wasn't in my department, right? That was this teaching center, and I was making copies. I was, doing really scut work, right? And I was learning what matters. And for me, as I worked my way up, I was really proud of the fact that I had actually done all the things, right? I knew where things were in the office. I knew how to make copies. I knew how to answer the phone. There were so many pieces of the job that aren't central to the job, but help me understand like what it actually takes to get the work done. And I think there are some, I guess I think about colleagues I've worked with in the past, or not even colleagues, like just people I know who like to think, especially as doctoral students, think big picture and like, I want to be up here making things happen, right? But a lot of the work happens on the ground. And I think one of the things I loved about my prior job and actually my current job is that I get the chance to be both up in the trees thinking about strategy and ideas, and I'm on the ground executing the work, right? And I think opportunities to let you see all those facets and understand the context that helps you understand where you are up in the trees, but also know how to get the work done is really important. And I think sometimes in a doctoral program, you don't have a lot of opportunities to do that because you work on one project really deeply, but you don't get to sort of have breadth, right? And so I think that's where these opportunities while you're in graduate school